Success with Google Ads today is about so much more than bids and budgets and keywords. Lead generation and e-commerce accounts alike need to take a holistic view of the customer in order to drive sustainable, scalable results. To that end, this is ppc.zone April 2025 Full Funnel Paid Ads. I'm your host, Jill Saskin-Gales. I use the pronouns she and her. I'm a Google Ads coach, ex-Googler, and the founder of the Inside Google Ads course, podcast, and book. I created PPC Zone in 2022 to elevate new perspectives and insights in our industry. I do need to exercise my host privileges to share that my first book, Inside Google Ads, Everything You Need to Know About Audience Targeting, just dropped on Amazon today. It is available internationally, and I am thrilled to share that as of today, I can add best-selling author to my title. So if you would like to check out my book on Amazon, you can search for Jill Saskin-Gales. Next up in the zone, this speaker is the CEO and co-founder of Alpine Analytix. She helps health, wellness, and fitness brands turn Google Ads into their most profitable paid acquisition channel. Today, she's sharing her perspective on full funnel strategy and managing your account like an investment portfolio. Please welcome Marjorie Vizethann.
Thank you, Jill. It's great to be here. As Jill mentioned, today I want to walk you all through how I approach a full funnel strategy in Google Ads. I like to think of a full funnel strategy like I'm managing an investment portfolio. And here's a quote of mine that I like to use. Managing your Google Ads account without a full funnel strategy is like investing your life savings in just one stock. You might get lucky, but you're not building long-term growth. And so what do I mean by this? If you think about an investment portfolio, you may have a variety of investments to help you meet your overall financial goals, like real estate assets, bonds, stocks, etc. So you want to diversify your paid search portfolio in a similar way and have campaign types that ladder back to each stage of the funnel. So let's quickly review the stages of the funnel. At the top of the funnel, all we're trying to do is attract our potential customers, make them aware of our brand, products, and services. As we move down to the middle of the funnel, we want to educate them and further nurture them to the bottom of the funnel where we can convert them into a paying customer. To illustrate how this may play out in real life, let's go on a journey together. So Nutrition Academy, which is a fictitious company, by the way, I made it up, but for the purpose of today's presentation, Nutrition Academy is a growing company. And what do? They offer nutrition coaching courses and certifications. So if you want to become a nutrition coach, you take their course and then you're on your way. And they've hired us as their paid search agency. They've had some early success with Google Ads, and now their main objective is to scale profitably with Google Ads. So now let's meet Sarah Johnson. Sarah is an aspiring nutrition coach, and she's at the beginning of her journey. Sarah is our ideal customer. And we know a few things about Sarah by analyzing our existing customer data. So Sarah likes to watch meditation videos. In her free time, she attends virtual fitness classes, and she's a vegetarian, so she's always on the lookout for new plant-based recipes. So how are we going to guide Sarah from the scroll or the attract phase or beginning of her journey all the way through signing up for our program? So let's look at some campaign types that may make sense for each stage of this funnel. Google Discover at the beginning of her journey could make a lot of sense here. So if we go back to the example of her researching plant-based recipes, Google Discover is the personalized feed she sees on her phone based on her interest as well as her browsing behavior. So a Google Discover campaign, an ad that shows plant-based recipes and a blog about it on our website is a great way to attract her and familiarize her with our company. Now, moving into the middle stage of the funnel, we may serve her a YouTube video ad in the educate stage of the funnel. This is also a great opportunity to build trust with Sarah by using social proof. So the YouTube video may be of a recent graduate of our program. And they walk Sarah through frequently asked questions that they had before they chose our program. And then the landing page that Sarah clicks through after watching the video is also custom to that content, and it has a downloadable FAQ guide that Sarah can take with her as she continues on her journey to ultimately make a decision. So about a month later, Sarah is very close to making her final decision, but she has one final consideration. Sarah has a full-time job, and so it is important to her to have a flexible program that works with her schedule. So now she's on Google search and she is searching for nutrition programs that have that flexibility. So we're there again to serve her with a responsive search ad, and it has messaging that is very relevant to her. Become a nutrition coach. You can graduate in under 6 months, and you can do it with a flexible schedule. So now we have nurtured her and earned her trust throughout this entire process, and she is ready to convert, become a paying customer, and start her coaching journey. So we have successfully treated each funnel stage like an investment. And here is where some people go wrong. Oftentimes, you start your Google Ads account at the bottom of the funnel with search campaigns. That often makes a lot of sense. And your goal there might be enrollment revenue. Your KPI or key performance indicator is going to be ROAS. Oftentimes, when clients are ready to move up the funnel to the educate and attract phases, they will use these same goals and KPIs that work at the bottom funnel, and they just don't make sense as you move upward. So let's look at a couple examples of goals and KPIs that may make sense for that upper to mid funnel. So at the top of the funnel, an engaged visit. That could be scroll depth, if there's a video on the page, a video view, time on site, anything that indicates that that campaign has done its job by making Sarah aware of our brand and services. And then in the educate phase, as we go back to the video example with the FAQ download, now we can get her email address. We could do some email marketing if that made sense. And the KPI would be cost per download. So it's very important to align a measurement framework with your client before you start moving upward in the funnel. Otherwise, they could be frustrated that results don't look the same as what they're used to with the bottom of funnel campaign types. And then bringing it full circle, Sarah has now gone through the program. She's a happy recent graduate. She's a certified nutrition coach. And now she's giving her own testimonial. And she says, every ad felt like it was written for me. When I was ready to decide, there was no question. I already trusted them. So this is the best outcome that we could have hoped for. And this is how I think about a successful full funnel strategy in Google Ads. Thanks for coming on this journey with me.
Thank you so much, Marjorie, for sharing your unique perspective and insights with us in the zone. If you'd like to connect with Marjorie Vizethann, you can find her on LinkedIn. Our next event will be in June. If you would like to apply to speak at an upcoming PPC zone, you can do so on our website. That's ppc.zone. I'm your host, Jill Saskin-Gales. You can follow me on LinkedIn to stay up to date on future events, and you can buy my new book, Inside Google Ads, on Amazon. Thank you for supporting our mission to elevate new perspectives and insights in our industry. I look forward to seeing you next time in the zone.